him for the fourth time. Thank you.
When I lose the sense of motivation and the sense of to prove something as a basketball player, it's time for me to move away from the game of basketball.
Today, Michael Jordan announced yet another retirement, that from the game of baseball. And with that, an announcement of Michael's return to the Bulls appears imminent. We'll recap the day's events and even squeeze in something on tonight's game between the Bulls and the Cavaliers. Coming up next on Bullseye.
Bullseye is brought to you by the Stars of Chicagoland, your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer. Wendy's old-fashioned hamburgers, where you don't pay more, you get more every day. And your local Chicagoland and Northern Indiana GMC truck dealers.
From the United Center in Chicago, it's Bulls basketball tonight on WGN as the Bulls take on Central Division rival, the Cleveland Cavaliers. And good evening, everybody, from the west side of Chicago. Dan Roan, nice to have you with us on the Bullseye tonight. And although there will be basketball here, this is what's on everybody's mind. Michael chills, the city sweats. Will he or won't he come back? Even though there's a game in the building tonight, you get the feeling that the 22,000 folks that are here are more interested in whether or not Michael Jordan will come back. And here's the latest, at least as we know it so far. Today's events: Michael officially retired from baseball in a statement through his agent David Falk. He informed the White Sox of that decision last night. And when that got out today, of course, the city went crazy, people thinking that's another step toward Michael returning to the basketball court. But that decision has been placed on hold. We expect it to happen within maybe a week or so, but as yet Michael has not said whether or not he'll return to the NBA. Now, this drama began to unfold on February 17th when the White Sox opened their spring training camp in Sarasota, Michael participating in his first workouts the following day. As the first games of spring drew near, players received a deadline of March 1st to decide whether they'd participate in spring training games against the directives of the Major League Players Union. Jordan said he would not participate in those games, but continued to work out in the Major League complex until March 1st, when he was reassigned to the minor league camp. Then on March 2nd, MJ cleared out his locker and left Sarasota without comment. He returned to Chicago on March 3rd. Now, Michael has taken part in at least 2 Bulls practices and 1 film session on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week at the Berto Center. Yesterday, speculation of Jordan's return raged as press conferences were rumored and then canceled. Jordan left the Berto Center without comment. He remains in Chicago today. But if this 2-week period of readiness comes about, then Michael Jordan's first game might well be right here at the United Center on March 24th, when Penny Hardaway, Shaquille O'Neal, and of course Horace Grant come to town. The Magic against the Bulls, and you could see that one right here on WGN. We'll wait and see exactly how all that shakes out. But of course, we're all waiting for that announcement, and it does somewhat overshadow the game here at the United Center tonight. Nobody knows what to expect, not even the Bulls. And for more on their perspective, we go down to courtside. Wayne Larrivee talked with Bulls head coach Phil Jackson a bit earlier tonight.
Well, thank you very much, Dan Roan. Certainly there is a buzz in the air around Chicago this week about Michael Jordan's possible return to the NBA. I'm with head coach Phil Jackson. And Phil, Michael's worked out with you guys on occasion throughout the season.
Right.
So what makes this week, the workouts he attended this week, so much different?
Well, simply walked out of baseball, and baseball, you know, hasn't started officially for minor leaguers as of yesterday. And, you know, the situation happened. He came in, said, you know, I'd like to work out, and we said, you know, you're always welcome to work out. You know, we're going to practice on, he actually showed up on Monday. We're going to practice on Tuesday. And, excuse me, we had Tuesday off because of a Monday game. We're going to practice on Wednesday and just have 2 practices Wednesday and Thursday. He said, I'd like to participate in both of them. And so I always kid him about, well, you ready to get back? And, you know, he kind of laughed and said, well, maybe, you know, that kind of a thing.
Kidding.
But he said, nah, he said, I can't talk about it now. He said, there's too many other things going on. But he said, we have, you know, a situation where, you know, baseball's not become a thing of, that's a reality for me right now.
And you know, he did not let on to you or his teammates that he had made a decision on coming back, or he was just
no, there's nothing different. There's nothing definite at all. about his coming back, but he definitely is thinking about it.
So the thought process is there. I mean, he's making a decision one way or the other. Let's talk a little bit about if Michael Jordan does come back, Phil, how long would it take him to be back to where he can contribute? I mean, I know he can contribute at any rate on the floor right now, but to be where he'd like to be in playing an NBA game.
I couldn't tell you that. I would say, offhand, I know that he came back after a summer off, dream team, won, and practiced 2 weeks for the season. And he was ready to start the season after about 2.5 weeks. So that's kind of an area that I would say he'd be ready, about 2.5 weeks.
2.5 weeks. What kind of an impact has his presence had on your practices?
It always stimulates the players, always elevates the game and elevates the play and competition level.
Has this been a distraction, though? All the media circus that now surrounds the basketball team, has it been a distraction as you get ready for the Cavaliers?
There's no way these guys aren't impervious to the fact that they may have an opportunity in a lifetime to play with a guy who's as great as this, and also that it escalates the hopes of their team, and everybody wants to talk to them, from their mother-in-law to their local radio station back in Paducah. And so as a consequence, they're having trouble staying focused on what's important, and that's the game tonight.
Any timetable that you know of from Michael?
None that I know of. Michael's just going to play this out and see where it goes.
As far as his impact on the floor, basically, what would it mean for your ball club to get Michael Jordan back for the final month or so of the season?
I've basically told this basketball club, if they don't rebound, doesn't matter if you have Michael Jordan on the floor, you're not going to get the ball back. Someone's got to get out here and show me that he can rebound and wants to rebound the basketball. And probably put us in a position where we can supply a better rebounder on the floor, because he would give us some scoring. So that's probably one of the big additions that he could bring to us.
The team he left to the desert in Arizona after the third championship doesn't have the force up front that this team now does.
We'd have to provide some.
All right, Bill, thank you much, and good luck against Cavaliers.
We'll need some, Wayne. It's going to be a very difficult game tonight.
All right, let's send it back to Dan Rowan. Third win.